Good morning, everyone. Today is Wednesday, I believe. You kind of lose track of days. I wanted to hop on today and not give so much photography tips today, but tell you a little bit about my background in photography, how I got started, and how all of this came about, and hopes to give you a little more understanding about how I know what is going on with photography and how I can help you. So I went to a very small high school about an hour down the road from Corpus. Very, very small town. I think I graduated with 40 people. Shout out to Rivera High School, class of 1996. And I was on the yearbook staff then, and I learned how to use a camera on manual mode back then. I think there were about 7 people in my class. But what really got me started was when my grandmother passed away my senior year. My entire life, I'd spent time with her. I was very close with her. I grew up looking at pictures from her, childhood, growing up and everything. And I was always totally impressed with how they dressed and it was like going back in time, really. And the stories you are able to tell through these old prints and slides and everything back then. And also why I feel like printing pictures and albums and stuff is so important and not just on digital format, because technology is always changing. Stuff I did in college I can no longer access anymore without finding some old school technology that still works, that can still transfer those. So I grew up always seeing pictures and everything else, and my life was documented by my grandfather, my mom, everybody else. So I've got pictures of my childhood, my family's childhood. But what really got me going, my senior year of high school, my grandmother passed away unexpectedly, and she was very young. And at her funeral, when I went to go pay my final respects, there was a family portrait of my family in the casket with her. And it was one of the most touching, memorable things I've ever experienced. And it left a lasting impact on me. So when I got to college, I got a degree in photography along with political science and history. It was kind of to balance out all the work of reading and studying and writing of political science and all that. And I just really enjoyed it. I learned the camera, I learned darkroom, I learned lighting, I learned editing on probably the first version of Photoshop. It was that long ago. I've been out of college for 20 years now, so it was that long ago. And I'm not sure when Photoshop came out, but I remember my computer lab in college being about 10 people in it, in the digital lab, 10 computers, 10 people. I remember playing with the very first digital Sony Mavica that came out back in college and thinking this is never gonna catch on. I was still stuck to my old manual film camera, doing everything manually myself, adjusting everything myself, and learning that way in the dark room, that kind of stuff. So when I say I know cameras backwards and forwards and ISO and shutter speed and f-stop and everything you can think of, I've been doing it for over 20 years now. And so I just wanted to give y'all a little bit background on that. I'm not the biggest sharer in the world, so most people don't know my story, other than I take pictures and I run, because that's what I put out there all the time. So I hope this helps you understand a little bit more why I do what I do and love it so much, and why it means so much to me. And as always, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments, send me a message. I'm here to help. And like I said, my dad's going home from the hospital today. I'm getting ready to leave to go pick him up. And I'll be back in Austin, and I can start getting into more in-depth photography, how the camera works and that kind of stuff. All right, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.